Dear finance professionals and students, welcome to podcast of FCA Deepak Rao, a practicing chartered accountant. Weekly digest for week 1 of June 2026. Tata Trust Chairman Noel Tata conveyed to Tata Sons board after the meeting last week that several key issues remained unresolved, rendering any formal discussion on the reappointment of the holding company's chairman N. Chandrasekaran premature. Tata sought greater clarity from Chandrasekaran on the group's 5-year strategic roadmap, the framework for providing an exit option to Shapoorji Pallonji Group that doesn't involve Tata Sons going public, as well as his formal position on the long-debated matter of the listing. The Indian government is scrutinizing over 500 imported products including machinery, fertilizers and electronics to identify opportunities for domestic manufacturing and reduce reliance on foreign supply chains. This initiative aims to curb the country's import bill and bolster supply resilience with a focus on sectors like electronics and chemicals where import dependence is high but export potential is also significant. India's electric two-wheeler market saw a strong rebound in May. Registrations rose significantly, recovering from a dip in April. Major players like TVS Motor and Bajaj Auto reported higher sales. Ather Energy and Hero MotoCorp also saw an increase. Ola Electric is working to regain market share and plans to enter the commercial segment. Artificial intelligence is becoming more expensive as companies rethink their initial embrace. The era of subsidized intelligence is ending, with rising costs for AI agents and computing power. Businesses are now seeking smarter spending strategies, exploring open source models and specialized AI to manage expenses. Mumbai's residential property market continued to show strong economic momentum in May 2026, with home registrations touching the highest level for the month in 14 years and generating over Rs 1,051 crore in stamp duty revenue for the Maharashtra government. The sharp rise in registrations show how the housing sector continues to remain a major driver of Mumbai's urban economy, supporting government revenues, construction activity and consumer spending. The broking market is dominated by established players such as Zerodha, Grow, Upstocks, Angel One and Motilal Oswal, but venture capital investors are backing a new generation of brokerages on the belief that the next phase of growth will be driven less by market access and more by helping investors decide what to buy and trade. The thesis has attracted funding for startups such as Track, which has raised nearly $5 million since last year from investors including Lightspeed and Sahi, which recently secured a $33 million Series B round led by investors including Elevation Capital and Axel. Jaguar Land Rover is securing a significant $2 billion loan. This move aims to refinance upcoming debt obligations. Several multinational banks are participating in this 5-year loan. The company is opting for a loan over bonds due to market volatilities. This financial strategy will help manage its debt effectively. Japan's MUFG is launching a significant $250 million fund for Indian startups. This new fund will focus on early and growth stage companies, especially in fintech. This move comes as other major investors have slowed their activity. MUFG's initiative aims to fill this gap, backing India's digital growth. The fund could expand to $400 million. Nvidia is launching powerful new chips for laptops and desktops. These will bring advanced AI functions to personal computers. Microsoft and Dell will release new models later this year. This move aims to create AI personal computers that can run AI agents locally. Experts believe this will revolutionize PCs over the next decade. The Reserve Bank of India is considering a proposal to tweak expected credit loss or ECL framework amid concerns the rules could weigh on small and mid-sized companies already facing pressure from the West Asia crisis. While the framework is aimed at improving rating discipline, it could have unintended consequences including higher borrowing costs, particularly for smaller firms. With rating agencies recently exceeding default rate benchmarks, there is a chance of elevated risk weights for these businesses. Reliance Industries chairman Mukesh Ambani is preparing Jio platforms for its initial public offering. The company is looking at ways to bring in more stakeholders. This move comes as the IPO is slated for the first half of 2026. Jio Platforms has shown strong financial growth. Its profit after tax increased by 15% in the year ended March 2026. Global leadership advisory firm Fulcrum Q is entering India with a model aimed at helping companies execute large strategic pivots, betting that AI disruption, global expansion plans, and shifting business models are forcing firms to rethink how talent is deployed across organizations. The New York headquartered firm positions itself between traditional strategy consultants and executive search firms, arguing that companies often fail not because of weak strategies, but because they do not identify which roles and teams are critical to executing those strategies quickly. Fulcrum Q emerged from its founders' work with Unilever, where they delivered talent to value frameworks to help companies execute strategic pivots more effectively. Ola Electric has secured regulatory approval for a new electric scooter aimed at India's commercial mobility market. This signals that the company may be preparing to enter the fast-growing commercial EV two-wheeler segment as early as this quarter. The timing coincides with rising fuel prices following supply disruptions linked to tensions around the Strait of Hormuz and increasing operating costs for gig workers and commercial fleet operators that continue to rely largely on petrol-powered two-wheelers. The US Trade Representative has initiated a significant proposal for additional tariffs targeting India and 53 other nations, driven by findings related to forced labor practices in production. This development is a crucial aspect of the ongoing trade negotiations between India and the US. In response, India has categorically denied the allegations, seeking a diplomatic approach to address these concerns. Tata Motors is set to license an automaking platform from China's Chery. This collaboration aims to accelerate the launch of Tata's premium electric vehicles under the Avinya brand. The company plans to build at least 2 new electric cars locally. The first Avinya model is expected to hit the market in 2027, marking a significant step in Tata's EV expansion. Indian IT companies are buying smaller companies to boost growth. Acquisitions are happening due to AI's impact on pricing and organic growth. Companies are spending billions to gain clients and market share. These deals help IT providers enter new markets and offer expanded services. This strategy aims to counter revenue pressures and vendor consolidation. A fresh whistleblower complaint sent to the Prime Minister's office and multiple regulators, including the Reserve Bank of India, has sought an investigation into alleged insider trading, governance failures, and shortcomings in forensic and audit reviews at IndusInd Bank, deepening scrutiny of the lender after the discovery of a Rs 2,000 crore derivatives accounting discrepancy. The new complaint alleges insider trading by Samir Agarwal, former zonal head of Eastern India at IndusInd Bank, manipulation of financial records, evergreening of microfinance loans, suppression of audit findings, and attempts by senior management and board members to conceal irregularities. Jio Hotstar, the streaming venture backed by Reliance and Disney, plans to significantly expand AI-generated content on Jio Hotstar after the strong performance of its AI-made Mahabharat Ek Dharma Yudh. The 100-episode series drew 6.5 million views on its first day, more than double the platform's average. Production houses in India and China are moving quickly to use AI in the creation of content to satisfy their hundreds of millions of viewers who lap up short-form videos on mobile phones. The Indian rupee could weaken to a record low of 98 against the US dollar by July as the energy shock triggered by the Middle East crisis continues to pile pressure on domestic assets, especially the currency. The rupee, Asia's worst performing currency this year, has been battered by the war-led energy shock that threatens to slow growth and push up inflation in India, which imports almost 90% of its crude requirements and half of its gas needs. Several Indian organizations in cyber, telecom, finance, and banking have gained early access to Anthropic's advanced Claude Mythos AI model. The government is actively working to expand this access, with select public entities, including CERT in, set to receive previews. This initiative aims to bolster cybersecurity for India's critical infrastructure. Carlsberg India is preparing for stock market debut. The company has added 4 directors to its board and converted to a public limited entity. This move strengthens its governance structure as it moves towards a potential initial public offering. The brewer aims for a valuation of approximately Rs 30,000 to 35,000 crore. This strategic step signals its readiness for public investment. The Reserve Bank of India is likely to keep interest rates unchanged in the near term and adopt a data-dependent approach before taking any future policy action, according to Geeta Gopinath, former First Deputy Managing Director of the International Monetary Fund. Capital Markets Regulator SEBI has passed an interim order against Rajesh Exports and its promoter Rajesh Mehta, alleging large-scale financial misrepresentation, non-cooperation with investigators, and possible inflation of the company's reported revenues. SEBI alleged large-scale financial misrepresentation and possible revenue inflation of 97 to 99%. The regulator has barred Mehta from trading in company securities and ordered a fresh forensic audit. Top executives are exiting established general insurance firms to launch new entrepreneurial ventures. This trend is fueled by India's vast under-penetrated insurance market and supportive regulatory reforms. Private equity firms are actively funding these new ventures, recognizing the immense investment potential. Experienced leaders bring crucial expertise, accelerating growth in this dynamic sector. IKEA has launched a new product development center in India. This positions India as a key hub for designing home furnishings for both local and international markets. The company aims to develop affordable products relevant to Indian consumers. This expansion signifies IKEA's commitment to India's full value chain, from retail to manufacturing and now product innovation. Bengaluru-based PropSoch secured $2 million in funding round. Athera Venture Partners, Sparrow Capital, and Vakil Group led the investment. The funds will enhance research, expand the team, and support market growth. PropSoch aims to reduce home buyer regret by offering unbiased recommendations. The company plans to expand its services to Mumbai. The Reserve Bank of India on Friday unveiled a series of measures aimed at attracting more foreign capital into the country, as policymakers seek to strengthen external finances amid global uncertainty and pressure on the rupee. The steps announced by Governor Sanjay Malhotra after the monetary policy decision include wider access for foreign investors to government bonds, easier investment rules for overseas Indians and foreign residents, and incentives for companies and banks to raise funds from abroad. As part of the package, the RBI expanded the range of government bonds that foreign investors can buy without investment restrictions by including all new issuances of 15-year, 30-year, and 40-year securities under the fully accessible route. The central bank also removed certain investment limits related to short-term holdings and concentration in individual securities. India has announced a significant tax exemption for foreign institutional investors and the bank for international settlements. This move removes capital gains tax on interest and sales of government securities. The government aims to attract more stable foreign capital. This decision comes as the Indian rupee has weakened against global economic pressures. A confidential PwC review of IndusInd Bank's treasury operations revealed significant accounting irregularities. Manual entries were used to mask over Rs 2,200 crore in trading losses, inflating profits and assets by Rs 1,817.58 crore. The report highlighted a disconnect between the bank's risk management and trading desks, leading to overstated financial figures. HDFC Bank is facing a barrage of governance allegations and panic. However, court relief and regulatory reassurances indicate no material adverse findings. Separate developments have been combined to create a perception of failure. Key facts counter this narrative, suggesting a deliberate effort to damage the bank's reputation. The bank remains systematically critical and financially sound. Tata Sons, the holding company of $150 billion Tata Group, infused an additional Rs 5,166 crore into loss-making telco subsidiary Tata Teleservices during financial year 26, thus increasing its stake in the unlisted company to 94.3% and helping the company pay government dues. The capital infusion highlights the continued support being extended by the Tata Group's holding company to some of its loss-making businesses. Technology investor SoftBank Group divested a 3.25% stake in eyewear firm Lenskart Solutions for Rs 2,873 crore through an open market transaction. The shares were disposed of at an average price of Rs 508.55 apiece, taking the deal value to Rs 2,873 crore. Following the stake sale, SoftBank's holding in Lenskart through its arm dropped to 9.88% from 13.13%. A clutch of investors, including domestic, institutional, and foreign investors, participated in the transaction. India's central bank holds interest rates steady despite rising inflation. The focus shifts to stabilizing the rupee with a new dollar deposit scheme. This move aims to attract foreign currency and boost confidence. While offering gains to non-resident Indians, it comes at a significant cost and distorts market rates. The Reserve Bank of India is proposing new rules for bank deposit interest rates. Banks will need to publish their rates daily. They can also offer different rates on large deposits depending on how stable the money is. This change aims to make deposit pricing more transparent and linked to liquidity. The Reserve Bank of India will soon release an updated list of upper layer non-banking financial companies. This comes as Tata Sons has requested to be removed from this category. The central bank is examining this request. The new list will be finalized shortly. This update is crucial for financial sector regulations. Hindustan Zinc will invest Rs 40,000 to 50,000 crore in the next 5 years. This will double refined metal capacity and ore production. Metal reserves will more than triple. The company has approved new projects costing nearly Rs 17,000 crore. This expansion aims to boost production and secure long-term mining operations. With inflation on the rise, Indian shoppers are favoring compact product packaging. This shift not only reflects changing consumer habits but also urges fast-moving consumer goods firms to innovate. In light of increased costs of raw materials, these companies are streamlining their offerings by offering less in each package. Maruti Suzuki has regained substantial market share after a 6-year gap. Strong sales in small cars and SUVs, coupled with new production capacity, have boosted performance. The company's market share rose significantly in recent months. With a healthy booking pipeline and upcoming launches, Maruti Suzuki anticipates further growth and market share gains. The Reserve Bank of India has shortened the time for exporters to bring back foreign earnings. This period is now 9 months, down from 15 months. This change aims to increase foreign exchange inflows into India. The move is part of broader efforts to support the country's balance of payments. Exporters must now repatriate earnings sooner after shipment.
This podcast is sponsored by Sound of CA. We share because we care. Vande Mataram, Jai Hind.